This is Badlands to Bradenton, lessons from the field. The idea of this program is to give teachers from Manatee County and an opportunity for an amazing professional development experience where they learn paleontology in the field. This is called a Megacerops, and these are cousins of modern-day rhinos. What's great about the program is the teachers get this amazing field experience. They get fossils that they can bring back to their classroom and share, but then the really great, perfect, amazing, rare fossils get to be on display at the museum. So it's a great way for them to sort of get some props for their students, talk about a real field science experience, but then also have some great stuff to share and show their students.
This is an oreodont. This was one of the first skulls I ever found. The ability to be able to walk around in an environment where there's really not much life. I mean, there's some grasses and there's maybe an occasional toad or something like that, but it's a really desolate area. It's very dry, very hot, and then all of a sudden you're walking along and there's this cool little fossil, and you can start digging it out, and as you start digging it out, you start to kind of imagine what the history of that animal was like, how it lived, how it died, why is it here, why is, a lot of questions about what's going on can be answered just by looking at the fossil laying on the ground.
I'm a very adventurous person and I love learning. And that to me was the ultimate experience to learn, right? Like dealing with fossils that are 25, 35 million years old that I would never have that opportunity to ever see. So I love learning in general, and I knew I'd be able to share that enthusiasm with my students. That is a tortoise, and it was found in July of 2018. And it's something like 25 to 30 million years old.
The students are really able to identify with the bones. I think for them it's really neat that they can hold the bones, they can look at the bones, they can identify the teeth, they can see where the eyes are, they can identify the nose. So there's a lot of structures on the bones that the students can see that really allow them to kind of relate to modern animals. So then when you have a modern bone and a fossil, it's just amazing that the students can kind of put the two together and actually see something as old as it is.
This is kind of a panoramic view of what they're searching in. This area that we're studying in Nebraska, at the time of the Oligocene and Eocene, which is the time period of the fossils that we bring back, that area looked a lot like Florida looks today. It was full of like shrubs and little pools of water and animals that browsed and chewed on things and little bits of grassland. But in Florida during the Oligocene, we were covered with water. So Oligocene fossils are rare in Florida. But it's a great connection between a past and a present ecosystem. Audrey Dombrowski, who came on the trip in 2018, she found this false saber cat. It's called a Hoplophonius. Finding false saber cats or any carnivore is rare.
We would look for different treasures. We would look for different things that would give us an idea of where to dig. We would learn how to spot things because you're basically looking at a wall that's pretty much all gray.
When we're out in the Badlands, we find a lot of fossils. The most common fossil is the oreodont, which is like a modern sheep, maybe a little bit larger than maybe a Labrador dog. Pretty small little animal compared to today's sheep. But it's really kind of cool because you'd be walking along, you see this small little bone sticking out. You usually don't find the entire fossil. We try and leave the fossil inside of the ground as much as possible because we don't want the matrix to be separated, because if they're small bones, they could get lost. But as you're going along and you start seeing these little fossils, you start to dig around it and start to discover, okay, wow, we have a full animal. Maybe we only have a skull, maybe we have a leg bone or something like that. So I think it's really amazing how just walking along, you can find these fossils all over the place.
It's so exciting to be able to teach and speak from experience, right? You can teach from a book, and books are super valuable, but when you can say, I'm there, I know what it smells like, and you have that story of like, here's the pants I tore when I accidentally, let my rock hammer slide, those are the stories that make connections with students and make them understand that science is a real thing that real people do, that happens and relates to what they do in the classroom.
This is an ancient tortoise. This tortoise is probably about 20 to 30 million years old. When you go to their classrooms of the people that have been there, they have their fossils laying all over the tables or out for display. You go to their house, they have fossils all over their house that they found out there. And if you ever talk to them, the first thing they want to do is tell you about their fossils, tell you how they found it, tell you what it is, tell you what they did to get it out of the ground. And I think the excitement level that these teachers have is just unbelievable.
This is an animal called an oreodont. Look at those teeth.
Those teeth are good, yeah.
In my opinion, it's paramount to always seek extra professional development, especially those outside of your comfort zone. Because it helps me, especially as a media specialist, I work with teachers of all disciplines here, all different subjects. So I can talk the talk a little bit when I learn more. If I didn't ever do anything scientific, how am I really going to support my science teachers? But even if you're a classroom teacher or a science teacher, you can learn from an English teacher. We can, we can cross-discipline. It doesn't mean that we only have to be stuck inside our box. It's a chance to learn and to show to students that learning doesn't just end when school ends. You can learn your whole life.